Amendment number 2, a well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. When some hear the Second Amendment, they hear the right to bear arms. They may be unaware that it is an amendment with condition and context. That is because these conditions and contexts have become tremendously unsafe. High school, middle school, and elementary school students are being gunned down by this well-regulated militia, and this begs the question, what qualifies an individual to be a part of this well-regulated militia, and who are the ones doing the regulation? The amendment also says that the right to bear arms shall not be infringed upon as guns are necessary to the security of a free state. This too begs a question. How free are we, the students of America, when we are unable to attend school without fear? Instead of learning algebra, we are learning about how to hide in closets for when the next gunman hunts us down like animals. This is not freedom. This is the exact opposite. We are trapped in a boundless cycle of school shootings, and we have had enough. We refuse to lose another individual to gun violence. We demand justice. Gun control is one of the most divisive subjects among American politics, but I ask that today we come together to find a solution to the madness that has taken over our country. Abandon your partisan identities and consider the following. Our idea as an entire nation of freedom and a well-regulated militia must be reconsidered to ensure that the future of our nation can feel safe while receiving the education that they are entitled to. I stand before you today as a high school student in her final semester, and I speak for those who no longer have a voice. Allow me to take you through the Rotary International 4-way test. First, is it the truth? With an average of 1 school shooting per week in 2018, the truth has never been so evident. Whether you consider February 27th, 2012, where we lost 3 young minds in Chardon, Ohio, or you consider Parkland, a more well-publicized incident, the truth is taking lives. More students die every week, and that is a fact. Our nation has become divided by political debates, and because of this, we are at a standstill in regard to changing policy to keep our children safe. Children of all ages are being gunned down, and it is not a debate. It is a cold, hard fact. 13 dead at Columbine, 26 at Sandy Hook, 17 at Marjorie Stoneman Douglas. 56 children are dead, and these are only 3 incidents. Where do we draw the line? When do we stop pushing our own political agendas and accept the truth? The answer is now. No longer can we make excuses for the massacres of young children. Next, is it fair to all concerned? I am an 18-year-old student at West Geauga High School. The subjects that should be occupying my time are college acceptance letters and calculus. Instead, the subjects that occupy my time are morbid and heartbreaking. How will I leave my little sister and go to college next year? How can I leave her in a school that is subject to the same type of violence as every other public school? How can I feel safe when I hear a fire alarm pulled? Do I walk outside or do I stay inside? It is not fair to all concerned. Kids are the ones fighting for safety. Kids are the ones who have to think of the unthinkable while our Congress sits and turns our issues into their political debate. I will tell you what is fair to all concerned, a conversation between humans. I do not mean a conversation between liberals and conservatives. I am talking about real people sitting in our Senate and our House of Representatives coming together to find a solution. Representatives coming up with a plan to make our schools safer, changing the public policy, building our schools so that a gunshot is unable to make its way through our doors and into our students. That is beneficial. Stop selling guns to those who have a history of mental illness. Start the conversation. Start talking to people like humans instead of like policy. It is only when we are able to have these conversations and take action that fairness to all concerned can even be considered. Will it build goodwill and better friendships? I want to tell you all about Nicholas Doret. As a promising high school swimmer, Nicholas Nicholas visited the University of Indianapolis and decided that he wanted to join the swim team. He informed the coach, who later said he was an instant part of our family. Nicholas never got to join his new family. His life was cut short. He never got to fulfill his new friendships. Gun control was missing when Nicholas's life was taken. If we intend to create better friendships, we must be first alive to create them. Lastly, will it be beneficial to all concerned? Look at the students around you. Ask yourself if one's right to own a semi-automatic weapon outweighs their right to go to a safe school. It doesn't. Some will feel that stricter gun laws are not beneficial. They will say that it is their constitutional right to own the weapon of their choice. Those of us fighting for a change do not want to take your guns away. We just want to make sure that certain weapons are unavailable to certain people. Stricter laws, universal background checks, and the ability to work together and come up with a consensus will be beneficial. Everyone in this room was once a student. Unfortunately, today we have to worry about going to school and not coming home to our family. If you cannot sympathize with the students today, think of yourself when you were a student. Do you remember your mom handing you your lunch when you ran out to catch the bus? Now imagine it is the last time that you will ever be in a rush like this. It is the last time you will see your mom. Nothing like this should ever happen to a kid again. I beg of you all today, do your best to come together and talk to those who disagree with you. We can no longer be such a divided nation. We need to come together and demand action. Thank you, and I hope you will all help to spark a change.